Disclaimer. The video serves informational and entertainment purpose only. The content is considered speculative and should not be treated as confirmed fact. We encourage you to conduct your research and form your conclusion.
It was supposed to be the triumphant rebirth of a legendary superhero, a bold new start for DC. But instead, James Gunn's Superman just stumbled hard. Despite all the hype, years of anticipation, and a marketing push that promised a fresh vision for the Man of Steel, the movie has become an unexpected box office letdown. The numbers don't lie. $217 million worldwide on a reported $400 million budget? That's not just underwhelming, it's catastrophic. For Warner Brothers, this was more than a movie. It was supposed to launch a brand new cinematic universe. And with those opening numbers, that vision is already cracking. Sure, some are trying to spin it, pointing to merch sales, partnerships, and future streaming boosts. But the cold truth is that studios only keep around 40% of the box office gross. And by that math, Gunn's Superman would need to cross the $1 billion mark just to break even. Right now, that feels like a fantasy. And the disappointment runs deep, not just for executives, but for fans who feel like they've been jerked around. This was the chance to right the wrongs of the past, but instead, it might have made everything worse. Stay with us, because what comes next might explain exactly why this movie flopped and what Warner Brothers doesn't want you to know. On the surface, Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav is all smiles, publicly backing Gunn, reassuring fans that this is all part of a larger plan. But behind the scenes, there's panic, and maybe even regret. Think about it. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel had fewer screens, less front-loaded fan screenings, and still outperformed Gunn's Superman when adjusted for inflation. And Snyder had major stars backing him: Amy Adams, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, even Lawrence Fishburne. What did Gunn bring? A new cast with no big names, a muted marketing campaign, and a creative vision that, while bold, left audiences divided. Mediocre just isn't good enough when you're rebooting an entire franchise. And the fans? They're fed up. For years, DC loyalists stuck it out, through highs, lows, and constant leadership changes. They paid for the tickets, bought the merch, showed up opening weekend after opening weekend, but Warner Brothers never gave them closure. No final bow for Cavill's Superman, no send-off for Batfleck, nothing for Gal Gadot or Jason Momoa, just a hard reboot, a cold goodbye. Is it any wonder fans are walking away? The audience isn't just rejecting the movie, they're rejecting how they've been treated, and this could be a warning shot for the entire DC brand if Warner doesn't pay attention. Fast. Stick around, because the next phase dives into why Gunn's vision may be doomed before it's even begun. James Gunn is no stranger to rebuilding broken franchises. He took a group of unknown space misfits and turned Guardians of the Galaxy into a Marvel juggernaut. So, naturally, Warner Brothers handed him the keys to Superman. But here's the thing. Superman isn't a misfit. He's a symbol, a myth, a god among mortals. And that requires a different kind of storytelling, a different kind of reverence. Instead, what we got was a stripped-down, semi-satirical reboot with a leading man that, while talented, carried none of the mythic gravitas that Superman demands. Gone was the cinematic weight. Gone were the goosebump-inducing moments. Gone was the score that made you believe a man could fly. In its place, quips, nostalgia plays, and a tone that couldn't decide if it wanted to be serious or self-aware. It's not that Gunn failed to make a movie, it's that he misunderstood what Superman means to millions around the world. This isn't just another hero in a cape. This is the hero, the original, the legend. And when you strip that down to fit a quirky narrative style that worked for a raccoon with a machine gun, you lose the soul. Worse, you lose the fans. Behind closed doors at Warner Brothers, the questions are getting louder. What happens to the rest of the DCU slate if Superman can't even take off? What does this mean for the Authority? For Supergirl? For Batman? The Brave and the Bold? Industry insiders are whispering what many fans are already screaming. The foundation is cracked. In the past, DC's chaos could be blamed on leadership churn, on studio interference, on the infamous Snyder Cut fallout. But now, there are no excuses left. James Gunn was given the power, the time, the resources, and yet, the audience still said, no thanks. Meanwhile, Marvel is licking its wounds too. The superhero fatigue is real. Audiences aren't showing up just because there's a cape in the trailer anymore. They want meaning, cohesion, stakes, and above all, respect for the characters they've grown up with. Right now, Warner Brothers is facing a brutal truth. They didn't just lose money, they lost trust. And trust takes years to earn back. So, what happens now? Do they stay the course, hoping fans will eventually warm up to Gunn's vision? Or is this the beginning of yet another reboot, just 2 years from now? Stick around, because the conclusion is where we lay it all bare.
Here's the brutal truth. You don't get infinite chances with legends.
Studios can play musical chairs with Batman, flash multiverses into oblivion, and try to manufacture hype. But Superman? He's not just another IP. He's hope. He's legacy. He's the moral compass of an entire generation of heroes. So when Warner Brothers bets the house on a stripped-down, self-aware reimagining that forgets the very soul of the character, it's not just a bad movie, it's a betrayal. Because Superman isn't supposed to be grounded, he's supposed to make us rise. And right now, fans aren't angry because they didn't like the suit, or the actor, or the script. They're angry because they feel like nobody is listening. The studio had a chance to inspire, and they turned it into content. Meanwhile, Marvel is gasping, Star Wars is stalling, and across Hollywood, the gods are falling. Why? Because they forgot what made us care in the first place. Not the cameos, not the multiverse, but the meaning. So here we are, a billion-dollar universe rebooted and already on life support. And the final question isn't, can DC survive? It's, can we ever believe in heroes again? Bardum. If you felt that, hit subscribe, because this is just the beginning. More breakdowns, more drama, and more truth bombs are coming your way. Stay curious, stay skeptical, stay watching,